Hello, Storytime friends. Welcome to Storytime. It's so awesome to see you. I'm Michelle from StoriesbyShelley. Hello. I have got a bit of a croaky voice today. So it's been really cold and it's raining so much. And I think I've got a bit of flu, but it's okay. I'm here to read a wonderful story to you. Are you ready? Our story is called The Warthog's Tale. And there are 3 warthogs on our cover. It's written by John Bush and it's illustrated by Lindsay van Blerk. The Warthog's Tale. So now, a warthog has a very interesting tail. Does anybody know what it does? What makes it so fun? Do you know? I think our story is going to tell us. So shall we get into it and find out what our little warthog's tale is about? You ready? Yes. Let's get into our story. The warthog's tail. There he is. Do you see it? Oh, it's sticking right up into the sky, hey? Boing. The warthog's tail is a wonderful wonder. When he runs, it stands up, whoop, and when he stands, it goes under, dong. But a warthog's tail was not always so. Have you heard what happened? Do you know? Do you know? Do you know the story of why or how the warthog's tail stood straight up like this? Do you know, Storytime friends? Let's get out how that happened. It all began, as most things do, in the very beginning, when the world was new. The first 3 warthogs roamed wild and free, with tails that stayed as down as could be, while the very first leopard with a hungry eye watched their every move from a tree nearby. It's a hungry leopard. He's ready to munch them. Mummy and Daddy and baby Ort had no idea they might soon be caught. Not the slightest clue, not a hint, not a hunch. That high above, Leopard thought, ha, here comes lunch. Grazing and munching, he started to stray towards the tree where that leopard lay. Silently watching, eagerly waiting until those warthogs were ripe for the taking. Oh, dear Storytime friends, do you see? Our leopard is going to pounce on our warthogs. He wants to munch them for his lunch. Oh no, watch out, warthogs. But just as those warthogs strayed into that trap, a twig beneath the leopard snapped with a crack. Oh, and then look, they saw him. Looking up, Dad yelled, "Run, follow me! In the long grass, we'll be harder to see." So off they go, running as fast as they can go. Off charged those warthogs with leopard behind, ravenous leopard with one thing on his mind. Into the long grass they bolted at pace. Into the long grass, leopard gave in the chase. Off he's going, look at that. Run, warthogs! Gallop! Cried Dad, for all you are worth, or we'll be the first and last warthogs on earth. Look how scared they are. They're going to run fast. Don't let the leopard catch you. Little Ort scampered, huffed and blowing, too scared to think about where he was going. He lost sight of Dad and he lost sight of Mum. Terrified little Ort raced on and on. At last his tired legs sank to the ground. As heaving and puffing, he turned to look around. Thank goodness, he gasped, the leopard is gone. But then he cried out, "Where's Dad? Where's Mum?" They must have been eaten, and now there's just me, the little lost warthog that there will ever be. Oh no, he's all alone. Where's his mum and dad? Don't worry, Art, said a voice from the branch. They're jolly good runners. There's an excellent chance that they're perfectly safe somewhere nearby. There, Art, don't cry, don't cry. The voice was Bunderbird, friend to all, especially someone so lost and small. I'll take a look, he said. You wait here. I bet my feathers they're somewhere near. Squawk, squawk. He had no sooner gone when a new voice hissed. Oh, I say, what's this? What's this? Psst, young fellow, the python's voice whispered. Been running too hard. Your feet are all blistered. Poor little chap, dear me. Perhaps you should cool your feet in my tree. Oh, replied Ort, I can't climb at all, and if I could, I'm afraid I might fall. Do you think it's a good idea that Ort goes with the snake? Oh, I don't think so. That's a python. He'd munch Ort. Well, I could lift you up just fine, and you will never fall from these coils of mine. They call me Crush. So nice to meet you. Then Bunderbird screeched, Screech! That creature will eat you! Ort leaped back, crying out with a snort. Gosh, is that so? He seemed such a good sport. He seemed a good sort. Wasn't he lucky the Bunderbird saved him? Any sign of my mum or trace of my dad? Not yet, said the bird, but I'll find them, lad. Then off Bundy flew in a different direction on a further mission of bush inspection. Ort set off for a river close by. The frantic running had left his throat dry. At the river he studied the drinking spots and made for a safe one sheltered by the rocks. Goodness, gasped Ort, I need a drink. Then Bunderbird screeched, Ort, stop and think. Those rocks aren't rocks. Those rocks are crocs. They'll crunch you up and lick their chops. What's a croc? Asked Ort, surprised. When will you learn? The bird replied. Can you chomp like a crocodile? Chomp, 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 chomp. Oh, look at those big teeth. He would eat him. They're long, strong things with long, sharp teeth and not much room beneath. And a little warthog would taste very yummy in a long, strong crocodile's long tummy. Any sign, asked Ort, of Mum and my dad? Not yet, said the bird, but I'll find them, lad. There's a waterhole yonder, behind that hill, where you can safely drink your fill. I'll meet you there, Bunderbird said, but first, one last search ahead. Off he goes. Sure, our little warthog is being eaten by everything, hey? At the water's edge, Ort stopped to drink, too tired, too lost, too sad to think. The water mirrored his sad little face. Then a big tear rippled it out of place. Oh, 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 oh. But when at last the ripples were done, he saw 3 faces there where there had been one. Good gracious, cried Ort, how can this be? 3 warthog faces, but just one of me. He looked to his left and he looked to his right. Mummy, Daddy, he squealed with delight. Bunderbird, quick come and see. My mummy and Daddy, they found me. Well, I'll be an Warthog, the Bunderbird cried. What did I say? They're alive. They're alive. But if you warthogs want to last forever, when you're on the run, you must stay together. Why don't you do as we birds do, and whistle to give each other a clue? So they ran around whistling, but their whistles ran out. Have you tried to whistle while you're charging about? Storytime friends, can you whistle? Can you whistle? Let's try. Well done, those sound brilliant. Sometimes it is really difficult to whistle, but lots of practice and soon you'll be able to do it too. I've got it, cried Ort. This will work without fail. A warthog is short, but we have a long tail. If we run with it up, I'm sure we'll discover we can follow each other, whatever the cover. It worked! Their tails stayed clear in view, so they made it a thing that they always do. A habit that warthogs just never forget, and they say not one has got lost yet. For that wonderful tail will only drop when a warthog is joined to when the warthog it's joined to comes to a stop. And that is how a warthog got his tail to stick straight up. Isn't he clever? I think it's a super clever thing. All right, Storytime friends, I hope you enjoyed our story. We'll see you again next time on another Storytime adventure. See you soon. Bye-bye.